Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Aurora 4X, the incredibly deep, incredibly complex, but not very pretty space empire building game. So I've finally been able to catch up on a few of the comments. Not everything yet, not all the episodes have gone live yet, so there's still going to be some that I can't respond to in real time. But thank you for some advice. Hopefully I've answered a fair number of questions in the comments so far. I will keep trying to do that. To address a few things, I did mention a few times that I do know that there's a version 7.2 that's due out soon, but we're going to be okay on 7.1, I think, hopefully. Cross our fingers. Some people were concerned about the fact that we had the bad scientists that may have been taking up some space. What I've gone and done is I've gone and retired them just so that they don't sort of visually annoy us over here. But commanders, as far as I can tell, they don't take up any slots, right? So on the commander screen over here, if we do go to scientists, we can go to the leading scientists screen, and what I did is I got rid of people who had skill 0 and maybe some duplication in some of our fields over here. But as far as I can tell, military academies, they don't cap out at any number of things. Rather, each military academy creates 5 officers or commanders or whatever per year, and they are randomly divided among different fields. And they're weighted more heavily towards ship captain type people. So we should be getting 15 named commander types every year because we've got a level 3 of that. We may want to get a little bit more, I don't know. Anyway, I'm actually going to be quite happy with buffing up our construction factories over here. We've got a good amount of supply. We are a little bit light on uranium, but other than that, we're in pretty good shape. What do we have here? We have 6 more automated mines. I saw the 4 here. Anyway, 6 more automated mines. We also only have 1 mass driver. And what are our cargo fleets? You're moving infrastructure to Mars, which I think is okay. We definitely will want to do more mining, and one of the things I think I'm going to do, I'm seeing some people suggesting like nice little rules of thumb, say, for our mining, and basically, some people sort of have a rule of thumb that if there's any sort of planet or comet or asteroids or whatever that has a total accessibility above blank, then that's a good one to mine. So that seems like a pretty good one. People sort of debate on what the magic number might be. I think anything over 2 is probably going to be okay, but certainly above that is going to be good. I mean, there's something to be said about, planning around certain minerals. Certainly uranium, we still have a bit of a general shortage over, but ultimately we're going to need everything, so we may as well mine everything that's got a total accessibility of at least 2, and ideally maybe 2.5 or 3. That would mean, whatever mines we put in there, we're getting, say, 3 times that mine's production in minerals of some kind. Even if it's a bunch of low accessibility minerals, it still adds together to a decent amount. Van Briesbroek, though, is almost certainly going to be our next big target. It's really good, and I'm trying to decide if I'd be okay with a civilian base getting set up on Van Briesbroek, or if I want it mined myself. I don't think it matters. I mean, if I mine it myself, I have to produce a whole bunch of stuff to put out there. If it's a civilian base, I can just buy their output. I guess the advantage of mining it myself is I can manually increase the amount of mines we have there to make sure that we're draining it a little bit faster. But yeah, I don't know if I particularly care one way or to other. Like, for Sinop over here, it might not be worth setting up for myself, because we drain it pretty dry pretty quick, so I'm okay with a civilian doing this. But I think with Van Briesbroek, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the colony there now. That way I've reserved it, so a private company won't grab it. I think that'll be a neat idea. Now, speaking of, though, you were still on your way out last time we checked. Are you still doing that? Yeah, you're still leaving the solar system. So it's going to be a good long time before we decide to actually mine that out. Anyway, our cargo fleet is currently busy building up Mars right now, so I'm okay with that. And we do have a cryogenic ship, right? No. No? Are we still building it? I might be getting ahead of myself here. We're building our cryogenic ship, that's right. And we have a civilian fleet that's moving people over. So for now, I think I'm going to be quite happy to keep going. Let's go in 5-day increments over here and see how things are doing. People are joining the core. We discovered some minerals. Excellent. Now, we haven't started doing geological survey things yet, right? No, that's going to be something else we can do. Now, so geological surveys are interesting. Now, obviously, we have our scanner. Turret tracking speed. See, Bradley Patterson is such a fantastic energy weapons tech person that it would feel like shameful to not use him in general for that, because again, he gets quad times his bonus. So he's going to get a 200% bonus when researching energy weapons, which means he researches at 300% the normal rate. But I really want to do missiles. And it sort of doesn't make sense to divide up our stuff. We still don't have a construction person. You know what, Bradley? You're going to be focusing on some of this construction tech because it's too good to ignore. In particular, let's go ahead and get him researching the improved research rate. That seems like a good idea. I'll give him the one lab for now, which is all we've got. But I think Bradley, or whoever's working on the construction stuff, is going to start getting a little bit more attention there. The other thing that would be nice is more construction rate, more mining production. Those are all good. But we'll go ahead and start with the research rate, because why not? So right now it's going to take him 16 years? No, 17 years to finish, but we'll get him some more labs and it'll be fine. And yeah, ideally we'll recruit someone with construction and production capacity. Okay. I was about to say something, I don't remember what it was. Wasn't I? Oh, right. I was going to talk about the weapons tech. So, yeah, so, like, if you're going to mostly use missiles, you can mostly ignore the beams. I've been picking up a few things here and there because I actually want to be able to demonstrate how to build a beam at some point, but it's probably not worth actually putting a ton of effort into our beam technology. The more I think about it, the less sense it makes. So yeah, what we do need for better missiles, one of the biggest things is mostly just faster engines, which we're going to work on soon. I'm going to get Lara finish her jump point theory, but then we're probably going to go back to some missile tech. Anyway, keep going for now. We'll move all our infrastructure over to Mars. We might want to move some to the moon, actually, and start a colony there, but I don't know. I think this is going to be fine for now. We'll finish this, and then we'll reevaluate at that point. How much do we have on the Mars right now? Because I think right now, with all the infrastructure, we're going to get up to a cap of about 10 million once it's all transferred over, and that's not a massive population, so I think it's fine that we just focus on building up Mars for now. And luckily, the civilian shipping company are moving people to Mars, which is just a wonderful, wonderful thing to see happen. People are being recruited. I don't know if there was a scientist there. Actually, I think there was someone new recruited over here in science, but it's a category we already have. No. Oh, no, it's that we finished the uranium armor. Oh, I think that might be something that happened between episodes, though. I don't think we had someone who had a defense systems specialty last time we played. I don't remember, but we've got Evie Buckley over here who's pretty good in defensive systems, and we may as well continue to have her research just slowly, one at a time over here, because it'd be nice if she kept getting more experience. We definitely need defensive systems technology, so it doesn't make sense to not be using her for that kind of thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the next level of duranium armor. Every tier of this makes the minimum armor that we need on all ships that much lighter, and then when we get around to building a military, we can put on some extra layers of armor plating. A civilian mining colony has been established on Venus. Actually, that was the other thing I had thought about is, should I mean, can I still set up, like, regular stuff? I guess the civilian mining company doesn't prevent me from being able to, like, ship my own stuff over, does it? So that's okay. So, Venus is interesting. So this is the average accessibility. It'd be nice if you could get a total number. So the total accessibility on Venus is 1.6, which is not very high. It's not very high at all. And I don't know if it's worth buying their production, because that's what's going to happen right now, right? They have 2 mines here, so by default, the minerals from these mines will go to the civilian sector, which will give me 200, no, it's the other way around. It'll give me 125 wealth per year. So times 2, so 250 space bucks per year I will get from this. And it doesn't matter how much they mine. The only question is how many mines they have. Whereas the other way, I could purchase it at a cost of 250 space bucks per year, for a total of 500 in this case. And again, the cost of purchasing it is only based on the number of mines, not the minerals. I don't think it's worth buying these minerals because it's low density, but we might be able to find more stuff on this planet. And to do that, we have to do a ground-based geological team survey. Now, the reason I haven't done it so far, and the reason I haven't really explained it, there's a couple of different reasons. There's two reasons. One, the higher the level of a team, the higher their geological survey skills are, the more likely you are to succeed at finding minerals. And you can only do a ground survey on a planet one time. So, on an important planet, you're going to want to make sure to send your very best team to get the job done right away. So there's this whole idea of taking your team and putting them on some smaller, less important moons and things like that, especially around Jupiter. You don't want anything too small, because if the gravity is less than, say, like 0.1, I mean, the lower the gravity, I think the longer it takes for them to do the survey. And so there's really a minimum size that it makes sense to have them be there to train up. The other thing is, You can sort of kind of cheat and create your geology team on any planet and then disband them and then recreate them on another planet over and over and over again. It's not really a cheat, it's just not particularly realistic. Whereas the much more realistic way of doing it would be to create your geological survey team on Earth and build a shuttle to move them around. And because we are going with sort of a bit of a story-driven thing here, it would be nice to be able to do that. So that's one of the reasons I haven't done the GeoSurvey on Venus. Now, a good GeoSurvey on Venus might make it worth mining with a little bit more enthusiasm. It is nice that we're going to get a lot of sorium over here. Our fuel situation is set just based on this. But yeah, I don't know. I could build the team now. Are these people busy? They've probably been assigned to things. Yeah. Although, I mean, I can filter it to unassigned only, but honestly, if we're going to make a team... Yeah, this is a survey officer at the fleet headquarters, which is pretty important. And you're running the Speedy Savant, although that's less critical in this case. Oh, this is the commander for our fleet headquarters. Commander, the Valdir, I don't know. We could get Commodore Dornboss over here off the Speedy Savant. Ignore the fleet commanders, or the fleet headquarter people. Oh, Bradley Patterson is one of our researchers with the 55% now energy weapon training bonus. Wow. And this is our missile researcher. Okay, and unassigned over here. So if we were to make this team, do we have Earth selected? No, we're on Venus. If I switch to Earth, is it going to reset my selection? No, there we go. So we could create this team, say on Earth. So now we have a team with a total rating of 142, which isn't bad. Actually, it's not bad at all. It would be nice to have it higher. You could probably get a team relatively easy with at least 200 skill. Actually, we could probably make a team with 200 skill. It is worth noting, though, that Commander Liam over here, because he's in the fleet headquarters, I think he only gives buffs to ships. He probably doesn't buff teams, actually. I wasn't assigning him because I thought he'd still give a bonus, but no, you know what? I don't think we're going to do that. I think we'll leave the guy at the fleet HQ himself. Right, that's the commander of the fleet headquarters. But the person in charge of surveys, we're going to grab you. We'll leave the scientists behind. But then everyone else, the lieutenant commanders. So you need to make a team of 5 people. So if I create this team, and we have a lower rating? How did that rating fall? Oh, because I think the screen hadn't refreshed. There we go. Yeah. Captains and commander, leave the scientists aside. There we go. 165. That makes more sense. That, honestly, is probably good enough to justify sending them to Venus. Okay, so I built this team on Earth because that makes sense. That's where our people live. Maybe I could make one on Mars. Actually, I probably could have made one on Mars. And Mars doesn't have any minerals at all, right? No, it's got some. It's really low. All right, you know what? Let's play it straight. Let's play it fine. The Speedy Savant over here, I am going to override your mission, buddy. So here's what you're going to do. He's going to go and do a geological survey of Hidalgo. We're going to remove that, and instead we're going to say, hey, listen, go to Earth. I can't remember if I demoed this last time. It's been a couple of days since the last episode. Then you're going to pick up a team. You're going to pick up the Liam Cook geology team. You're going to pick them up, and you're going to drop them off. Top priority is going to be Venus. Drop-off team on Venus. Yeah, didn't we do Mercury? Maybe we did Mercury. I'm getting really confused. I might be confusing myself with another test game we did. Anywho, the Speedy Savant is picking up the team, and we're going to send them to Venus. Venus is going to be very hot, very muggy. Hopefully they're okay. We got another civilian mining company on Chernik over here. Let's take a look at that. Chernik, what are you looking at? Ooh, not bad. 0.14. So this is a total of 2.2 total accessibility, which seems to be a pretty good number. You know what? I'm gonna keep that rule of thumb. If it's over 2, I will buy their production and or set up my own output. And in particular, this has duranium that's going to come in at a pretty good rate, and we are going to experience a shortage of duranium relatively soon. So I'll go ahead and send those minerals to Earth, where I still have a mass driver, which is very important. All right, dropping it off on Venus. There we go. So now our team has been dropped off on Venus, and it's going to take them a few days, weeks, months, depending on the size of the planet and various other factors to complete the survey. We'll get a notice when that happens, and if we get very, very lucky, they might find some extra minerals for us, which would be a really, really nice thing, because what was the total on Venus? Let's try to keep that in mind. 0.6, 1.5, 1.6. 1.6 is the total accessibility on Venus. So we'll compare that after the fact. So more people are joining our organization and leaving. People are moving around. We're still shipping a ton of stuff over to Mars, including the civilian freighters. We had requested that they move things to Mars for us. That's very handy. And we'll do something similar with the moon later on too. If we had more mass drivers, we were probably going to want to make sure to build some soon, because we do have comets on their way in, and we're going to want to maybe make sure to be able to catch them. Oh! Our geological survey teams are done. So you can see here, they're going to keep telling us every tick that they can't find anything else. They finished their survey, and they found a deposit of Vanderite, 0.5. Now, that sounds like a new deposit, the way it's worded. I don't know if that's actually what's going on. Sounds like they found a new deposit that wasn't there before, and in fact, I believe that is indeed the case. 1.5. We're now at 2.1 accessibility on Venus in total, which is pretty good, and we still have tons and tons of thorium for fuel. That sounds like it's probably worth us purchasing that mineral. Excellent! At some point, we may not be able to purchase everything, but that's done. That's really good. Now, here's the problem. Our survey team is still on Venus. Now, again, we could do the sort of cheaty thing where we go to our teams on Venus, we take these people, we disband them, and then we just instantly recreate them somewhere else. But let's try to do this for reals, and we're going to shuttle them around. I'm going to tell the cargo task group over here, hey, listen, yeah, you're doing some stuff that's great. Why don't you... Oh, you're on cycle moves, which is fine. We could always recreate it. Yeah, okay, hold on, let's do that. I'm just going to clear everything of your job. That's the shipyard. Because our survey ships are gone somewhere else. We're going to override you. You're going to go to Venus. You're going to pick up a team, the Liam Cook geology team. Thought I did. There we go. And you're going to drop them off on Mercury. Mercury actually has a decent amount of stuff. Drop them off on Mercury. Then you can go to Earth for the refuel, and we'll queue up your rest of your stuff after that. Okay, they were dropped off. Oh, we completed research on jump point theory. Excellent! Okay. Jump point theory. Actually, wasn't that under construction and production? No, that was under power and propulsion the whole time, right? Yes. Okay, so jump point theory, we now understand these little jump points that are around our system, that potentially they could be used as some sort of hyperspace conduit to another solar system. Awesome. We are going to want to research now gravitational survey sensors so that we can scan those points and maybe find out where we have jump points. We are so not going to go through them right now. We're a long way before we're going to feel comfortable doing that. But it's going to be nice to have the option. Now, I still don't have anyone. Oh no, I do have someone with sensor tech. I'm going to get George Jackson to slowly work up on that. We are in no rush to do that. I did want to finish the other technology just because it was sort of cool to talk about. I didn't really need to focus on it as much as I did. Laura Hansen finally got an upgrade. She's been at 15% bonus, I think, since the beginning of the game. So finally she's got some new skills, thank goodness, because what is a priority is going to be just better engines. I don't know why I wasn't working on those already. Let's queue that up. Better engines are going to be good. We're going to give her 5 labs as well. Wow, she's high enough rank that she could work 45 labs if we had them. So again, we're sort of spreading things out a little bit just to make sure that people keep leveling up. Then we're going to try to pick one project to sort of focus on a little bit more, and in particular, that will be engines over here. We are still building our new construction factories. The more we build, the faster they will build, so I'm going to be okay with that. And yeah, our uranium stockpile is definitely shrinking at this point. We are building so fast that we are outpacing our ability to mine uranium over here. And that will just become worse and worse and worse with more and more construction factories. But then we can use different projects that may or may not consume things in exactly the same way. Adding that slipway is good. I don't think we need another cargo ship or colony ship after this one. We'll just build the one. That'll be okay. All right, let's go. Cargo... Oh, that's right. The cargo task group, which had ferried my troops, just finished its job. We're going to reset your job. You know what? Tell you what you're going to do. You're going to load infrastructure from Earth and go ahead and drop them off on the moon. See, Luna keeps moving, which all the moons actually, for some reason, they change which planet they're under in this listing, which I don't understand. But there we go. Unload infrastructure on Luna, and then repeat. Technically, we'll put in a refuel from Earth, but this is such a small ship, or a small journey, it's not going to matter. And you carry 10 per go. And I think we need... Well, actually, you're going to do 20 per go. You know what? Just cycle moves for now, and we'll stop you later on. Okay, that's going to be okay. So that's going to happen very quickly, because obviously Earth to Moon is very, 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 very nearby. And it looks like the colony ship are going to start unloading colonists at Luna. So that can start growing as well. Oh, failed to load infrastructure. Are we literally out of infrastructure on Earth? We are literally out of infrastructure. Okay. How much did we move to the moon? It's got population of 300,000 already. It can support 3.8. Oh, I guess moving everything to the moon went so insanely fast. So we can actually support a bigger population. Oh no, Mars we can support twice as many, 6 million. We've already up to 3 million on Mars. We are going to need to ship more infrastructure to Mars though, because it's going to continue to grow relatively rapidly over here. It's still not asking for protection, which is good, although soon they will. And Mars, we're pretty much not going to tell them to build anything. You can see they're starting to build construction materials, machinery, and textiles on their own. Civilian transports are going to start shipping that back and forth and give us some extra tax dollars. Terraforming! Yes, we'll get there. We'll start... Well, at some point we'll terraform Mars and Moon and all those things. And maybe, you know, I should have done terraforming before I started moving people over. One of the things that happens once you start terraforming planets, then their planetary sustainability or suitability will go down. Which is good. In this case, it's good. You want to bring it as close to zero as possible, because this is more like a colony cost than a suitability. You want to bring it down as low to zero as possible. So as you terraform it, that will happen, which as an effect of that will modify the amount of infrastructure required per million population. So you're going to increase your population cap. Plus, fewer people will have to be employed by the agriculture and environmental sector, which is all really, really, really good. Anywho, let's go ahead and... Oh, you know what we can do? Venus needs an administrator. And ideally someone with mining. It's the only thing that matters here. Declan Walters has a mining bonus of 15%. Alright, we'll take it. You go to Venus. Excellent. And the moon needs someone. We don't mind the moon, so why don't you go ahead and just get like a population growth bonus, just like a French. Got a terraforming bonus too, which is very interesting. Alright, let's assign you over there. That's going to be fine. Okay, so right now our cargo ship's not doing anything, and I think that's probably okay. Chernik over here, though. Tell you what. Chernik has civilian mining. What I've never done, and I'm curious about this, what I've never done is then put an automated mine somewhere that already had civilian mining. We're buying their stuff already. So we've got some automated mines left on Earth. So our cargo ships, we're going to tell you, go to Earth, load automated mines, then go to Chernik, unload automated mines, and do that until we run out of mines. I think we've only got 7 or something, don't we? Earth, 6. Oh, the freighter, the private freighter failed to load infrastructure on Earth, but that's fine. It doesn't need to do that. Why does it keep telling me about this freighter? Oh, it's probably out of material. We probably still have the supply and demand job listed. Right? Let's see here. Yes, we're still saying on Earth we have 480 infrastructure available, but we don't, so we've got to cancel that contract. We'll still leave the contract here on Mars. And you know what? Let's just get rid of it because it'll simplify things. Okay, so now hopefully it'll just do some trade and give us some money. And certainly stop harassing us anyway. Okay, we have finished automated mines. So now if we check Chernik, Did I kick the civilians off? No, they're still there. Or are they? There it is. Civilian mining complex is active. It's still there. So it doesn't list the civilian mines anymore, but the civilian mines still exist. We're still buying their output because it's still a decent amount of output. Yeah, it's a great amount of output. And we ourselves have our own mines. Yeah, it's telling us we have 16 ground-based mines, which is our 6, plus the one civilian one, which is worth 10. So we've got 160 minerals coming out here. We definitely need more stuff added. We are shipping it over, which is good. One of the things, if we do get some improved mining tech, that will improve the civilian stuff. Okay. I think we're good now. I'm going to let Earth finish its construction factory run over here because I really think that we'll make good use out of the extra production. But we will want to go and we need more research labs, we need more infrastructure, we need more automated mines, we need more mass drivers. We kind of need everything. Hey, a civilian base on Whipple. Let's go and take a look at what Whipple looks like over here. You're at 1.8, so I'm not going to buy your output at this time. We're just going to use you to make money. So I'm going to say below 2, it's not worth buying. We'll just make the money. Then we can use the money to buy other things instead, which sounds pretty good to me. Who just joined? Logistics, ground combat. I don't think we had one before for logistics and ground combat, did we? No, we did not, and that is nice. There's not that many things we need in that category, but there were certainly a few things early on that would have been nice. I'm still waiting for a freaking construction production person. Getting kind of a little bit annoyed. Alright, keep working on those. Oh, the slipway was added on Earth as well. Hey, so now we'll be able to build 2 military ships at the same time, which will come in handy later on, although this was mostly just a prep for the future kind of thing. Do I want to expand our storage? I don't know. It would certainly use more duranium, although we are not actually out of duranium yet. We could build bigger and bigger ships. This is going to be fine for our first set of ships, though. 6,000 is going to be plenty. Or is it? It probably is. Maybe I should just get... Well, I can't do that now, but I was going to say, maybe I should just build another naval shipyard. Because, of course, this can only build one class of ships at a time, and retooling is expensive. So we will want a second naval shipyard at some point. That way we can build multiple classes of naval ships simultaneously. I guess it wouldn't hurt if we set this to continual capacity expansion. And we'll do that with Yellow Dog as well. We'll go and turn those back on. It will use some resources, but it's a little bit of future-proofing. Aha! Our skill of our survey team just increased. Everyone got a level up. Now, one thing is, if you teleport people around, I don't know if they still level up the same way. Like, if you break a research team up and recreate them somewhere else, does it reset their XP gain? That's one thing I haven't figured out. But they have leveled up, which is great. I think we had, what, a 160 before? Or was it 165? I think it was 160. Now we're 170. They're still on Mercury, still scanning Mercury. Hopefully they'll find some more stuff over there. Be quite nice if they did. Did they get another skill? Yeah, 175. Another skill up. Wonderful. And then everyone just got reassigned and shuffled, which is nice. People are getting promoted. Good for them. The Coates Colony Corporation has launched a new Coates L1 class space liner. So a space liner is a... That's not the window I want. That's not the window I want either. This one. A space liner is like a luxury ship. It doesn't carry many people. It's not a cryogenic ship like the Coates Large C1. But people do spend money to go places. So that's really good. We'll get some extra cash. It's also quite fast there. Very speedy. Let's take a look at our colony status. Mars still growing slowly. The moon, which is closer, and so the colony ships are prioritizing that, is filling up very quickly. Still has that 3.8 cap over here. Now, it had no minerals whatsoever. I'm not sure if you send a geological team there. I don't think it can find anything, but we'll see. Oh! And our Job-class colony ship has finally been finished. So, we're going to go ahead and issue it some orders. You're going to pick up some colonists. Oh, wait, hold on. cancel. You're still in the shipyard task group, which is no good. So we're going to detach you. We'll rename the task group to Colony Task Group 1. We'll probably just have the one ship, though. So we're going to pick up some colonists from Earth, and I'm going to bring them to Mars, and then return to Earth and refuel. We will have to monitor this guy. You carry 100,000 passengers per, so every 10 trips is 1 million people. Let's set up for a total of 20 ships by repeating this 19 times, or 20 trips, so that'll bring 2 million people from Earth to Mars. This ship, if you set on a repeating job, will definitely can increase the population of Mars beyond its infrastructure cap, which is really bad for morale and things like that. So don't do that. I think the civilian ships will stop. They won't increase the population above the infrastructure cap, but don't quote me on that. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here. I'm happy that we finally have our own cryo ship to help boost the population growth over here. Mars is starting to be a real colony, closing in at 5 million people over here. Still going to be creating, is this Mars? There we go, Mars. You know, slowly producing a little bit of stuff over here. Hopefully it'll start doing a little bit more, and certainly we're going to get some trade going on. The moon hasn't started doing any of that yet, but Mars is going to start developing all that over time. And again, just giving us money, which we can then use to purchase minerals from civilian mining operations, which is awesome. Wolf Harrington's on its way back in. That's one of the first things maybe even the first place we set up our, what would be the right term? I don't know, solar extraplanetary? Something like that. The first time we did anything, any mining on another body in our solar system, I'm pretty sure was on Wolf Harrington. What's it currently packing right now? It's got 44 ground-based mines. It's going to be mining here for at least 76 years. And I don't think we're going to put any more mines here. I think we're just going to work towards improving that technology going forward, which is going to be fine. Our geology team has improved themselves even further, which is great. They are working on Mercury, right? They're over here, but they haven't finished their survey yet. So we're still hoping that Mercury will be able to unload some more stuff. Mercury's not bad. It's certainly currently sitting at 0.2, 2.5, 2.8 accessibility, which is pretty gosh darn strong. It's sort of like weird minerals, you know, neutronium and carbamite, as opposed to duranium, which we need all the time. But it still has a good amount of duranium, and it certainly has a lot of this stuff. And ultimately, we do need everything. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to put a cut in here. I'm actually really tempted to see if these guys find anything more on... ooh, mining colony on Venus has been expanded. Excellent. I was going to say, if we find anything more on Mercury, I'd really like to be able to see that by the end of this episode here. Oh, we finished our pebble bed reactor technology, which is good. I mean, more reactors are going to be nice. If we do laser beam based ships, we need strong reactors. But what's most important here is we can start working nuclear pulse engine technology. And once that finishes, I'm going to be very eager to start redesigning some ships over here. Notice that we do have a bunch of tech related to jump drives at this point as well, which is pretty exciting. So let's get that going. I guess we still haven't figured out what's going on Mercury here. I'm just going to go 30 days at a time. Oh. We got our first unrest. Mars is overcrowded. And indeed it is. 7.2 million people when population, we really only have room for 6.8. So that is going to increase unrest, which is not great. Our colony ship right now, okay, you're currently on your way back to Earth. Let's remove all this. You can go ahead and do the refuel from Earth. You can load some colonists, but then drop them off on the moon. Actually, the moon's basically hit its population cap as well. We're really not going to be able to grow any of these planets until we get to the point of being able to build more infrastructure, which is going to wait until Earth has done its factories. I'm going to let it finish this, that's for sure. Do we have the ability to transport troops yet? Because that's one way to placate or pacify a colony. Troop transport bay, no. We need a logistics person to do that. I guess I could start on that, and especially Patrick Fuller could get a little bit more training too. I'm going to take one lab away from Lara over here, and we're going to get Patrick Fuller start working on the troop transport bay, so we can ferry troops to another planet. Now there is a cap. Required actual, I mean, we don't need occupation over here. There's, where do we find out where we house people? Because PDCs can provide space to house troops. It must be something we have to worry about here. I don't know, we'll revisit that later. I'm pretty sure that this is a thing that I'm... Ground forces... Oh, okay, maybe, yeah, they're just split up. I don't know. Anyway, I'll look into that, and we'll consider, at some point, moving some troops over to Mars to keep them under control. But we do need to get the infrastructure improved, that's for sure. Still, I'm going to be quite happy just finishing this construction run. It's only 2 years away now, almost exactly 2 years away. And again, the more of these we build, faster everything else gets built. But it's probably a good idea to queue up some more infrastructure after this, in particular maybe like another run of 1,000, which would be pretty fast. We'd rip through this insanely quickly over here, because this only requires, so it's a cost of 2 per, so it's 2,000 production. That's a fifth of a year. In fact, it's going to be lower when we get here. We'll probably finish this entire run in 2 months, and then we'll be able to start shipping infrastructure again. And then what I'll do is I might consider doing some sort of a split build over here. But I do want a lot more research labs too. We want everything, as usual. See you next time. Ooh, a new boost to our geology team. I guess we never did finish Mercury, but we'll have to wait until next time. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye-bye.